Hello there, my name's Eric and I'd like to welcome you to our Thrifty Survivor YouTube channel. And today what I'm going to be doing is a review on the Schrade SCHF37M. That's M as in mouse. And what this is what I consider to be one of the best budget survival knives in its price range. This knife rates up there with some knives that are well over $100, even $150 and above. As I'm doing this review, you can get this on Amazon for under $50. I believe it's even under $49. Now, the Schrade Frontier is a fixed blade, 7-inch blade knife, full tang. Sorry about that, I almost cut myself. Again, it's a full tang, fixed blade survival knife. And I'm going to show you here, I don't know if you can see this on camera too well, but the blade is 0.23 of an inch thick. 0.23, that's nearly a 1/4 inch thick, folks. That's a lot of metal, and for that reason the knife is fully well able to handle pretty much anything you throw at it. As far as the metal that it's constructed of, it's HCR37MOV. That's stainless steel, and what I like about stainless is something you don't really have to maintain too much. You know, some of you purists might prefer more of a high carbon metal, and by the way, Schrade does make those as well. I chose this one because I prefer the stainless steel. As far as the handle itself, it's a micarta. It's actually picked micarta handle, which what I like about it, I don't know if you can see it too well there, but this basically multicolored. it's mostly black and gray, but it just kind of has a neat effect. It almost looks like wood, but it's a composite material, which is extremely durable. You don't have to worry about it rotting or anything like that. But what I really like about it is the fact that it gives you a really fantastic grip. It's not just your typical plastic handle, and it's extremely durable. Something else that I really like about it, and I don't know if you can see it too well on camera, but these hex wrench bolts, and what those do is they actually hold the handle on. You can take it off if you like, and some people actually will upgrade the handle. Not so much for an upgrade, but more for personalization. They might want to carve their own handle. You can do that with this knife. It's extremely easy to do. Another feature that I like about it is the knurling that you see here, both on the spine side as well as on the underside here. Now, some people say that that's a bit too aggressive, and it is. It's well. You easily can feel it. Frankly, I don't have a problem with it. I just like the fact that it kind of gives you an even stronger grip. You got to think about what you're going to be using this knife for. A knife of this size and of this thickness, this heavy gauge of metal, you're probably going to be using this for things such as batoning, chopping, that kind of thing. And you want to have a nice firm grip on the knife if you're going to be doing that with it. All right, well, we got a lot of bugs here. Anyway, one thing I don't think I mentioned yet is this does have a somewhat of a drop point blade here. What I like about it is it provides enough thickness up front to give the knife enough weight, making it great for chopping. And as far as batoning, that's not that big of a deal, but it's just nice for chopping, plenty of weight up front. Something else that you may or may not have noticed is the finger choil here. That's great because it provides you a little bit more control when you're, for instance, if you're feather sticking, just basically any type of precision work with the knife. Lets you to kind of choke up here on the blade, making that more convenient for you. Yeah, and something I didn't mention yet is the blade actually is a drop point blade, but it's still pretty thick on the front. And what I like about that is that it gives you plenty of weight up front for chopping. Now, obviously, you can also use it for batoning, but the weight up front is not that important. But the thickness up front is actually quite important for batoning. You don't want to be chewing up your baton. So this has got just basically almost all the way to the end. The blade is 0.23 of an inch thick, nearly a 1/4 inch thick. Now, as far as the 90-degree spline, which I'm not sure if I mentioned that yet, what's nice about that is this blade, you can actually use it, you can use the spline for the ferro rod, which actually is included, but obviously it'll work with any ferro rod for starting a fire. But one little secret that I found out about this knife that I really like is the finger choil also has a 90-degree angle on there. And I use it, and it just is fantastic for a ferro rod. Let's just see. Look at that. Oh, that's the blade. I shouldn't have done that. But look at that. I mean, it just sparks up wonderfully. And that's what I use. Now, I made a big boo-boo there. I use the blade itself, and obviously the blade works.
Okay, now let's just show this knife in action. I'm going to do a little batoning. I've got some maple wood here. It's just hard, just about probably hard as oak. It's not pine like most people use. So what I'm going to do is put this into the top of the little log here. I'm going to use another piece of maple, and I'm going to
under the knife.
Okay.
There you go. That's how. There you go. We got to help each other out here.
That's right. All right, now let's do some quartering. Great. Nice. Nice wood for my fire. Okay, let's do some feather sticking. Feather sticking is using your survival knife to create very thin portions off of a piece of wood that's going to make it more flammable. It's going to catch fire faster. And so we're going to go ahead and use a blade that I've already been using on batoning. It's not fresh out of the sheath, so it is still working well. Now, here we go. So getting some good feathers off of this piece of wood that I just cut, that I just batoned. So when we lay this piece of wood into the fire, if I strike with my ferro rod onto this, if I use any other type of little kindling, it's going to help catch a lot. So this blade is, like I said, it's not fresh out of the sheath. I've been batoning with it. It's still extremely sharp. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I hope you can, but I've got a lot of feathers on this piece of maple. It's going to help it burn much better. Okay, let's take a look at how well this survival knife chops wood. So what I have here is a 2-inch thick piece of maple, and I'm going to go ahead and start chopping on this. I'm chopping it, spin it around. Somebody already chopped a little bit off there, but it's maple wood. It's tough and it's not making it easy on me. If you have goggles, I would highly recommend wearing goggles. There we go.
Hello, Eric here again. And the reason I brought this indoors is we were done with all the chopping and everything that needed to be done outdoors, and it was getting late in the day, and I decided I still needed to kind of go over the sheath that the knife comes in. Now I'm going to be frank with you. I don't think the sheath is anything to write home about, but it's definitely good enough to get the job done. Now, it is made out of a type of ballistic nylon. It's not Kydex like some of your higher end knives come with, but another thing is a lot of knives don't even come with a sheath. At this price point, just the simple fact that the knife comes with a sheath is really saying something. Now, again, the sheath is just made out of a type of ballistic nylon. Now, as I'm sure you know, that doesn't mean it's bulletproof, but it's just really a tight weave type of a nylon. It resists scuffing, and it's quite durable, actually. Now, the first thing that I'm going to mention is actually the little strap here that holds the knife in. One thing I do like about this is it doesn't come with a cheap Velcro strap. A lot of them do come with that, and over time, Velcro oftentimes will either just flat wear out, or a lot of debris will get stuck in the Velcro and it just doesn't stick anymore. You know, I used to race bicycles, and even the higher end shoes would come with that Velcro, and over time, as you wipe out, you go through grass, that kind of thing, they just don't close anymore. So, long story short, this comes with metal clips, and in my opinion, at least, they're just a lot more durable. Now, as far as the internal of the sheath, one thing that I kind of like, which I guess is pretty normal for a nylon type of a sheath, is inside, yes, there is a hard plastic sleeve. I don't know whether that's visible on camera. I don't have a cameraman to zoom in on it here, but anyway, that's pretty thick plastic, and it's definitely going to keep the blade from poking through and poking your leg. So, you know, in case you were wondering, I thought I'd show that to you because it's not clearly visible from the outside. Now, on the back side, as you can probably see here, there is a Velcro closure, and what that's for is, of course, so that you can put it on your belt if you don't want to remove your belt to put the sheath on, or remove the sheath. You can easily do that. Personally, I don't use it, but some of you might like that feature. Now, probably the biggest thing, or the most important thing, or what I like the most about the sheath, is this little pouch here on the front. And I will say that I do kind of like what's inside the pouch, but just the simple fact that there is a pouch there is kind of handy, because of course, it does come with a, as we showed you earlier, a ferro rod with a nice striker and this diamond sharpening stone. Now, just like the sheath, you know, this is not anything to write home about, but it's plenty to keep the edge on the knife sharp enough to where you can get the job done. You know, if you're going to be using your knife a lot, you will be using this. And it's just the simple fact that it's conveniently stored right here in the pouch makes it nice. One thing I do like about the ferro rod storing in there is I don't have to go fumbling around in my backpack you know, when it's cold out, my fingers are frozen, to try to find this ferro rod to start a fire. It's right there, it's right on my hip, along with the knife, nice and convenient. Now, this is not going to be very long, but another thing, now I actually removed it. This does come with kind of a, it's not really paracord, but something similar. Basically what that's designed for, so that you can run it through here and strap it to your leg, just to kind of keep the sheath from flopping around. Personally, I don't use it. It's actually the width of the strap here, or where you run the belt through, is wide enough to where it pretty much keeps the knife from flopping around anyway. But it also kind of depends on the width of your belt. If you got a more narrow belt, you might want to use that, or maybe you just prefer that. Anyway, it does come with that. If I were to put it back in, I probably wouldn't use the cordage that came with it. I'd probably just go ahead and just use regular paracord. However, it does come with that. And I think that about covers it as far as the sheath. So I think that's going to wrap up our this episode of Thrifty Survivor. So if you like what you saw here, please give us a big thumbs up, share, subscribe, comment, and be sure to check out the link below where we'll be showing, where actually you'll be able to get more information on the knife and of course the contents. We'll also probably have some other items there that you might be interested in. Now, if you like the content that we brought to you here today and would like to kind of help support the channel, please visit our Amazon affiliate site, and it's called thriftysurvivor.com. So it's pretty easy. It's just the same name of our channel, thriftysurvivor.com. And we do get a small commission from Amazon that just kind of helps support our channel. So folks, I want to thank you once again for watching. I want to give y'all a big thumbs up myself, and you folks have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.